Cool. All right, Nate, what do you got? You got a great 20-year-old album for us, right?
Yep. Following the new metal theme here, which we love and kind of came up with, so it's very formative for us. Taproot's Gift was dropped on June 27th, 2000. So ways back. I guess that was our freshman summer, something like that, right? A great time to get into music because you kind of have all this time to check out things in its entirety without being distracted by school. So I really like this album from the get-go. I really dug into it pretty deeply, and I was able to check them out a few times. Mainly in Boston. Saw them at the Axis a few times. They did come to Maine, but I think it was in Lewiston for opening for Disturbed or something, which I didn't check out.
They played the Station in 2008, and I couldn't go.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Nate, I went to that. It was Music as a Weapon tour or something, Disturbed and Taproot and someone else. It was like an 02 or something.
Yeah, I didn't
Lewiston.
go. Yeah. In Lewiston, yeah. I don't know why I didn't go. Maybe it's because I'm just not a Disturbed fan, but that's nor here nor there. Really like this album. I think that I mentioned like the Lane Staley thing earlier with Cold, with like the lyrics and stuff like that. There's some similarities with Taproot too, I think. Just the dark lyrics, I think, mainly. More sound wise, they get some comparisons to like Depeche Mode, things like that kind of have some interesting, soundscapes that mirror Depeche Mode style or whatever. But I really like this album. They formed in 97. This album dropped in 2000, so they kind of were independent for a little while. And their come up was interesting because, we mentioned Limp Bizkit. They were kind of following that, trajectory with the heavyweights in the industry. So Fred Durst, at the time, this is like 99 going into 2000, was the A&R Interscope Records. So he brought Steven Richards, the singer, and the band kind of under his wing to eventually, or supposedly, bring them onto Interscope Records, and it got dragged out for quite a while. So, one thing led to another. It didn't really pan out. I think it just mainly because it was taking so long. So they eventually signed to Atlantic Records rather than Interscope, and there was some beef with Fred Durst and the band. I don't know if you guys remember this. You guys remember the voicemail?
I don't.
No. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, it was pretty gnarly. I mean, this is back then. This is like nerdery TMZ because he left a voicemail on Steven Richards' mom's voicemail. So I think he was still living with his parents. Basically telling everyone
Florida man leaves voicemail on other bandmates' mom's answering machine.
Yeah. So it's pretty gnarly. In fact, we can play it. This is a little
go ahead and play
take.
it.
Steve, Fred Durst. Hey man, you fucked up. You don't ever bite the hand that feeds in this business, bro. And your fucking manager circle guy's a fucking idiot, loser motherfucker going nowhere. You just chosen that path. Took you under my wing, brought you to my house. Fucking talk about your ass on radio and press. And you embarrassed like me and the Interscope family. Your association with Limp Bizkit doesn't exist. Your manager slings our name around. He's going to be blackballed and probably be erased. And you will too. He's a fucking idiot. You're going to fucking learn from this time right here. I hope you let your band know that you just fucked yourself. You need to be associated with somebody in this business. You need something to get you out there and put you out there and believe in. Now you got enemies, and you're fucking yourself already. Tell your friend that. Don't fucking show up at my shows, because if you do, you're going to get fucked. Alright? You and your fucking punk ass, man. You call your fucking manager, David Menezes, whatever. Ask him what he's done and doing. You're a fucking dumb motherfucker. You're learning right now exactly how to ruin your career before it gets started. All the love, brother. Fuck you.
Wow.
All the love, brother. Fuck you.
So where did you get, like, how did that get out?
It was leaked essentially, but when the band eventually got signed to Atlantic Records, I think we were talking about the whole Spotify thing earlier. Bad press is good press. Obviously, Limp Bizkit was huge then. So I almost feel like it was leaked purposely to get the press and have those clickbaits associated with Limp Bizkit at the time. But yeah, that's up on YouTube right now. So I kind of pulled it up for this. But I mean, it just shows the signs of the times. You know what I mean? Like zero filter, just tell it how it is. But it also kind of gives you kind of a good backstory on how the industry is behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I love that stuff.
Right. Fred Durst fucking livid.
Didn't it kind of sound like he wrote it and then read it while he was on the phone?
That's actually what I was thinking.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that was staged. That's my thought. Just listen to that. So? Yeah, he wrote that, and then like, hey, that was one of those viral marketing things. Like, we're gonna put this out to the world. I'm just gonna call your mom's thing, and you're gonna record it, and we're gonna throw it out there. It's gonna be on YouTube for some schlubs in 2020 to put on their podcast.
You know what I think? Actually, it probably was. Those were lyrics to a Limp Bizkit song that he just read.
Oh my God. Yeah, it had a pretty devastating trickle effect because he was so pissed that he ended up dropping System of a Down off the Family Values tour in 1999 because they had the same management that got Taproot signed. So it's just like this trickle effect. Bad thing. Yeah, Durst was kind of a douche back then, notoriously. But
we've all had our moments.
Yeah, I mean, the reason it actually happened, the reason they fast tracked is basically they were shopping to get the record signed, and Durst or Interscope was essentially dragging their feet. So they just went ahead and said, hey, we're not going to like sit around and wait. So they ended up shopping it around. And we mentioned Rick Rubin earlier. They shopped it. Rick Rubin gave it a listen and was interested and got into some hands like that. So obviously those are heavyweights in the industry. And, who would want to wait? Times of the essence. So yeah, I love this album, and it's too bad that was kind of a false start, but maybe not. Interscope's its own thing. It's Atlantic's its own thing. But I like this record a lot. What do you guys remember from this album?
Yeah, I remember this when it came out, and I remember again. It's always interesting to have the context you have now, where like they got big with that song "Poem," which was the album after this. What was the name of that one?
Yep.
Welcome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But in this era, they were like, you had to sniff around to even know about this band in that era. Because I remember, like there were some like, kind of metal kids in high school that were into this band, and they were not known. Taproot was not very well known when this came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, another band where the singer fits the band perfect. He's so unique. Yep. Like I did listen back to this album today, and in some parts it almost sounds off key, but it fits perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, cool album. And yeah, what do you think, Tone?
Yeah, no, I listening back to all of these albums this week, I was surprised at how much I had forgotten Taproot knows how to write a song, like from start to finish. Not just Stephen Richards, the whole band. They were so tight on like 4 or 5 different choruses and like transitions to those. It was a great re-listen for me. It's been so long since I had heard it, and I mean I got into them around when Poem blew up, like most people did at that time. But then going back and finding Gift and listening to Gift again, and being back into that headspace, I was a little surprised at how heavy it was, and a little surprised at how much I liked it still. Those two things kind of stuck out to me in listening to it. And I remember joking, I mean, Stephen Richards was all over the place at this time. He was, doing features on that Reanimation for Linkin Park, which we talked about a couple episodes back. Yep. He did a spot on Reveille's Plastic, the song Plastic, which is awesome. He was just kind of, he has that featuring Stephen Richards' voice. Like it fit for like, oh, we're going to change it up, and here's Stephen Richards, who no one sounds like, giving us a melody and a, breakdown. And it was awesome. Like it's to hear a full album of that. Yeah, it makes sense as to why those guys had a moment.
Yeah, he's got the singing and screaming thing going.
He did both, and he does it so well on this album. Like he like in the same sentence does it.
Yeah, I always thought that was cool to have that quick change up. But yeah, man, I love this record. The singles were Again and Again and I, both super unique, especially I. I is
awesome.
Yeah, that song is like deep. I remember the videos. Actually, I think I first discovered them on MTV2. They were in heavy rotation on that for quite a while. Late night, obviously, like 11 p.m. kind of thing. But yeah, I was super stoked when this album dropped because I kind of got a glimpse of what they were doing with Again and Again. And yeah, still play this record pretty regular. I'd say, a few times a year at least. Yeah, great. I don't want to say, I don't know. You were saying top 20 for Cold, 13 Ways. I'd say I'd put it in the top 20 for me, just because I have a personal connection to the album.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's like kind of a off the cuff one. But yeah, you guys ready for some trivia action as well?
Yeah, man.
Nice. Well, speaking
Does it
of
involve more YouTube clips.
No, I could though.
We
Because-
should clear those with legal first.
Our legal department.
Hey, Setla, is that cool? All right, let's do it.
All right.
Hit us with the trivia, Nate.
Taproot was booked on a tour both in 2000 and 2001, and they were actually booked by a family member of the tour. Which family member was this?
Family member of the tour.
Of the tour, kind of like head organizer. It's kind of a complicated question.
Very, actually.
Back
yeah.
to school tour.
Give us a hint.
Deftones.
Ooh, nope. Good guess.
Family values.
Nope. Ozfest 2000 and 2001, Taproot was booked by Jack Osborne, Ozzy's son.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that
Jack
makes sense.
actually had creative control in booking some of the bands for the tour, which must have been a dream gig back then. I would have loved that.
He was only like a teenager at the time, too,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Yep.
On top of isn't he like a ghost hunter now?
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
think he's on cable on a ghost hunting TV show.
are you
Yeah.
making that up, dude? Are you?
No, I'm dead serious. Check it
I've
out.
seen that.
Jack Osborne. I think it's like it's from hell or something like that. It's some stupid ghost hunting show, which
Yeah.
sometimes intrigue me.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen like a ad or
Commercial for
or
you. Like, is
something.
that Jack Osborne? Yeah, it is. Weird. What the hell? What the hell's going on? Yeah. Good question. All right, what do you got?
Yep. So back when Ozfest was essentially booked by Sharon, Ozzy's wife, and Jack. So that was a very in the family tour, and those lineups for 2000, 2001 were pretty amazing. So very new metal heavy, obviously. And actually, this actually you would have to pull up a YouTube video for this, but I'm not going to do it because it'll give it away. Who does Who does the backup vocals for Taproot? The drummer, the bassist, or the guitarist?
I mean,
Ooh,
because you framed it that way. The drummer.
the drummer.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's like Clint from Seven Dust.
Yep. Which you never see, and I actually didn't know this until I saw them live. I think it was at the Axis, and he's got the little headset thing on, and he's playing there like singing, especially on some of the songs from Gift, where it's almost like a whisper backing vocal, and he's back there. And I remember me and Bob, you guys know Bob, we started laughing because we didn't know, and we see him back there like whispering, like playing drums. It's like, oh, this is. I never knew that. Cool, good to know.
Yeah, I honestly did not know that till right now. I only ever had seen that with Don Henley of the Eagles.
Yep.
And Seven Dust. So
Do you guys know that band Beloved?
no.
They were on,
No.
I think, Solid State or, Tooth and Nail. Solid State or Tooth and Nail, one of those. Same thing. The drummer does all the screaming.
And
Oh, wow.
that's got to be so much work.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
that's some talent. Yeah, another little tidbit on the drummer. His name's Jared Montang. I think I'm pronouncing that right. He wrote a book in 2017 called True Rock Stars 12 Guiding Principles for Success and Happiness. So he's also an author.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's no longer in the band. Taproot's only 2 original members now. But I kind of want to check out that book. I feel like there might be some nerd insight in there from touring stories from back in the day.
Yeah.
Might be a good guess.
I mean, maybe we'll hear him on the Podioslave podcast in the very
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
knows?
exactly.
Who knows?
Yep. Damn, I wish I framed the question. Bassist, guitarist, drummer.
Next time. You got any more trivia?
Let's see. Those were kind of the 2.
Perfect.
Yeah, those were kind of the 2. They were a local band from 97 to 99. So here's actually one more. Fine, one more. Which songs off the album Gift were re-recorded off of demos?
Give us a hint.
I'm going to guess not Again and Again, because Again and Again seems like a label influence song.
False. Again was a demo
Oh, wow.
re-recorded for the album. Yep.
Interesting. All right. I'm
Any
wrong.
others?
Emotional Times.
Nope.
Smile.
Nope.
All right. Well, I don't know, man.
Track 2, so like you said, Twan, Again and Again was actually a demo. Believe, which is track 6. Meant to Be, track 7. 9, Mirror's Reflection, and 11, Comeback. So quite a few
Yeah.
were demos re-recorded. So we always hear that thing, like you spend your whole life recording your first album. Clearly that was the case with Taproot. So.
Yep.
But
And that's,
yeah,
I mean,
Taproot.
it's a great record.
Yeah, I love this record. Actually, I always wanted to see this, kind of like we talked about with other bands. To see this on wax would be really cool for me. But
Or 20-year tour.
Yeah, we might have seen that this year too.